Hello, welcome to MindBody TV. I'm Dr. Kim Duramo, and today I'm going to be sharing about, are you missing this number one essential nutrient? We did do this last week, and it didn't, for some reason, it didn't get reported in Facebook. There was a glitch. So I'm, by popular demand, sharing this topic again. And I'm in a totally different space this week. So it's kind of interesting because this is important no matter whether you feel like it or don't, and no matter what space you're residing in. This is the thing that contributes to you the most, that goes beyond any like food or substance or supplement or anything you could think of as your go-to when you're in need or when you're grungy. This is the most essential ingredient, and you always have access to it. It always comes from within you. So I'm super excited to share about this. Welcome to everyone who's joining live. Hello, and sorry about that last week. I know a lot of people were asking for the replay. And hi, Sarah. And hello, Janet. Nicole. A lot of people were asking for the replay, and for some reason Facebook wouldn't go through. So we're gonna do this again, and it will be even juicier. So I'm excited to share about this. So basically, we have a lot of things we think we need to do in order to have like health, vitality in our body, take care of our body and like be at our ideal weight, like all of these things that we think, all of these things we learn about. And none of them are anywhere near as powerful as what I'm going to share about today, which is tuning into your pleasure. And now, it's not about pleasure like this airy-fairy whim of, oh, I'll just do whatever I feel like, and I feel like doing this, so now I feel like doing that. It's actually from a deep connection, deeply connecting with ourselves of like, what is really the most important thing to me, the most valuable thing to me, what feeds and fuels me the most, what's my deepest heart's desire, my truest heart's desire. And that isn't this one thing and then you figure it out and then you go on. It is a moment-to-moment connection, a moment-to-moment source, a moment-to-moment inner communication that you have with your body. So we're going to share about this, about how I tune into this, and about what it creates for you. So welcome, everyone. I'm super excited to be sharing this. I love hearing where you are tuning in from. And also, if you were here last week, I would love to hear, because a lot of people said like a lot changed for them and a lot happened. And then I know it wasn't recorded. So I would love to hear about that. Leanne, I'm live for the first time because all caps, I don't want to miss this. This is probably going to be the best one that you could come for. Okay, and hi, Susan from Illinois. Randy, hello. Rachel, oh, so good to see you, beautiful. Hello, Sally. I've been dancing and singing every night for our local theater production. We're putting on this production of Mamma Mia. So that has totally juiced me up. And it really ties into what we're talking about today, because a lot of times we make choices based on what we think we should do. Here's the things I should eat. Here's the exercise I should do. Here's the things I shouldn't eat. And then there's like the whole world of medications or supplements, or do I go to a naturopath? Do I go to homeopath? Do I go to functional medicine? And things just get louder and more chaotic because what we're doing is we're tuning into what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? The underlying premise is I'm broken. I need to fix this. I just wrote one of the chapters for my third book that's going to be coming out. Well, after the second book comes out, we're working on this third book that's really about ignite your light. And in this piece, the prescription is about you've got to connect with what really feeds and fuels you and prioritize that and commit to that. And so for me today, I've been tired. We've been like dancing a lot. I've been taking care of my kids. I'm doing my work. And I really wanted to go to my yoga class. And I also really wanted to write this chapter for the publisher. And so it was like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? Well, I always just tune in, and you've got to tune into the Serenity channel. Feel your heart, connect with your heart. What will feed and fuel me the most? In the mind, we have all these ideas about what I should do, what I shouldn't do, especially when it comes to work, because I should get on this and do all this work, and then this good thing's going to happen. But my body knows better. So in the last couple days, like yesterday, I really wanted to get this chapter done. And it was like, Kim, you have to take a nap. And between this and then creating this new program that we're creating, there was a lot I wanted to do. And it was like, what's going to contribute the most? Get in bed and take a nap. And it was crazy because my head was like, but, we have to do this and we have to do that. I have to do all these things. When you tune into the Serenity channel of be anxious for nothing, what would it take for me to receive everything I need right now? You'll always be aware of what creates the most. It won't make sense to your mind that thinks, but if I take a nap, I won't get any of this work done, or this won't happen. You have to let it go. I was able to clear today, which I hadn't even anticipated. So I had a couple hours this morning and the whole thing just wrote itself. Boom. And it was awesome. And it came out beautifully. And it really required me to honor myself first. And of course, that's what I'm writing about. So it really doesn't work if you don't embody it. But the mind can run away with this so fast and then keep us on the hamster wheel of always more, always more, always more. But all it really does is create more chaos. So now you need like 30 supplements instead of 2 to kind of counteract what you're doing. So what is pleasure? A lot of people have different ideas about this. Is this right or wrong? Is this good or bad? And is this about sexuality? Well, pleasure is not about sexuality, but a lot of us, that's the only way we let ourselves experience it. The only way we let ourselves have a physical experience in the body that's about sensation. But pleasure is not about sexuality. It's actually, for me, it is about sensuality. I've got to ignite my sensory being, my sensory capacity, and be willing to feel things, which actually means I've got to be willing to feel everything in order to have awareness, in order to know my wisdom, in order to let my wisdom speak to me and communicate with me. Because it doesn't communicate through the mind of like, Kim, you should do this, and that's going to be the way to go. It communicates through my sensuality. So yesterday when I was feeling really depleted and really exhausted, and I was kind of like dreading, like, oh my God, I get it ready and put makeup on for the show tonight and do this and that. And it felt heavy. Well, that's not the channel I operate on. I didn't choose this to be this like heavy burden thing. I didn't choose to write this book because it's one more on my to-do list. I chose it because it lights me up. And so again, you've got to be in is this my A++ life? And stop making the choices that aren't. That only really result because you are in a limited belief. So I was like, you know what? If I'm in my joy and pleasure channel, all of life is in my favor and I always have all I need. So I got off the grungies, took a nap, felt amazing. And I know a lot happened. And then, today you got to go down to come up. The more restorative you vest in, the more like unthinkable productivity. Usually we're just trying to do productivity. And that's why so many of us are completely depleted. And then you're just like, I don't even want to do this. Why am I writing this stupid book? I hate my work. I hate my job. I don't want to be in this musical. Like all of it is crap. All of it can actually be amazing, but you have to tune in with what is your pleasure. You can only know from sensing it and asking first and foremost, and then committing to that. Susie, hello from UK. Christine from Cape Cod. Woohoo. Meryl, hello, beautiful. Dina from Fort Collins. Meryl says, I can so relate. Randy, since hearing the broadcast last week, I've been in even more awareness of when I start to feel stress or overwhelmed or thinking about what I should be doing. And I stopped and asked myself, what would be in my deepest pleasure right now? And then I let myself do that or have that. Even if it's something I do have to do, I find a way to do it with more pleasure. And I've been dancing a lot more at home. Things have been feeling much more light and joyful and more juicy and delicious than ever. Woohoo! Okay, so what is pleasure? A little bit more on that. We've got to be in fluidity with our sensuality, what we sense, what we feel. Pain, especially chronic pain, is repressed sensation. And yes, we are putting together a whole program on that. I think we're going to talk about it and launch it next week. I'll have it ready soon. But it's really about, can I get in fluidity with what I'm feeling, with the energy moving through my body? When we repress energy, meaning we're not willing to feel it and let it move, it gets stuck in the body. It creates illness, disease. It wreaks havoc on your immune system, your digestive system, which is so core to your health, and creates significant and severe chronic pain. Yes, this also leads to physical changes in the body. All that inflammation, stress hormones, stress chemistry will degenerate your joints, will create, you can't clear Lyme disease or Epstein-Barr virus, or you can't clear viruses. And so you got chronic, autoimmune illness, chronic infections. All of these things have been shown to respond to more harmony that you embody. Even your digestion, your gut biome is a consciousness. Yeasts have their own cellular signal, a cellular frequency that they emit. And then the quote unquote good bacteria and the bad bacteria have a very different vibe, a very different vibration. And if you're in harmony and joy, and I love myself fully, I honor my heart's desire, they cannot survive and overgrow. So we've seen this in so much research scientifically, but how do we apply it with what we're doing in our health? It's not about more pharmaceuticals. Okay, so instead of being in this repression with your sensuality, or it's only contextual, I'll only let myself be a sensual being in a sexual encounter or in certain circumstances. No, you've got to be operating this way 100% of the time in order to really have the full vitality and abundance, everything that you're here to receive. So you can start by feeling the body skin on skin. This will release oxytocin, beta endorphins. It will decrease cortisol, stress hormones, and decrease inflammation. So immediately it balances out your hormones and your immune system. Just touching, even just like your neck, because usually you don't have clothes on your neck, your arms, you could push your sleeve up. You can do this any time of the day. If you're aware, anchored in your body, you are going to notice it, usually within like 3 seconds. Like, I'm not feeling great right now. I'm really anxious, or whoa, there's a lot going on around me. Settle yourself right back down. And I'll tell myself, Kim, you're awesome. You have everything you need. You can let all of this go. Take a deep breath in. I love the little hearts. Take a full breath out. Your body will immediately relax. And just that release of tension means energy can flow more fluidly. A lot of the energy that's moving is old stuff moving out. That's the exact thing that's creating the chaos that has you think you need to keep working and keep running. You don't. When you prioritize pleasure and sensuality and fluidity, everything else can be in flow. Okay, sensuality is aliveness. If you're not sensing and present and like feeling your body and anchored in, your body cannot be fully alive. Your nervous system is responding to this. Your chemistry and hormones are responding to this. Every cell in your body is responding to your awareness of it. So a lot of people are living from here up, just in the neck, just in the head, trying to control for many different reasons. But if we actually let ourselves relax and bring our presence and awareness all the way through our body, all the way down to our feet, all the way through our pelvis, breathe that fully. You will be amazed at what you begin to notice and what you receive. Yes, one of the first things you might feel is fear, because that's what you've been avoiding and clenching up so you don't have to feel it. The more you're present, the more it will move through. It is not the essence of you. So stay even beyond that. Let energies release, and you'll find this like inner joy and ease and divinity. Then there's clarity of like, what would really delight me? What do I want to eat today to feed and fuel my body? Or what will create the most for me in my life right now? That's how I show up to my business every day. What will create the most for my business, for everyone that is in my team, for everyone that we're serving and assisting. And then I can operate from pure awareness, because I'll immediately know. I don't have to try to think about it or make a million lists. Jessica says, I just signed up for a watercolor class and I'm heading to Brimfield in 2 weeks. 2 things I've always wanted to do, and already I have so much joy from just saying yes. Yay! Okay, because there's always going to be a million reasons why you shouldn't do that thing, and you should wait till later. But you don't realize that the source is your pleasure. It's not a means to an end. It is the end itself, and it will change everything that's happening for you in your life. Hello, Linda. She says, wow. Maura says, this is great. Okay, awesome. Hi, Martha. The second thing, so sensuality is your aliveness. If you are lacking in health and energy, or your body feels like it's breaking down, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, name it. Bringing more presence and sensuality to your body, and then honoring what is fluid for me, what is my pleasure, what brings me joy. Let yourself receive. I guarantee you, as you practice that, everything in your life will reflect that, including your physical body. I have one client who's been on like diet after diet after diet, and she's been trying to lose a ton of weight. And I had her do this pleasure diet every single day to pick 3 things. And I gave this last week when we did the live too. 3 things that you do just for the sole purpose of feeding and nurturing you. Put Epsom salt and take a nice hot bath. Take a nap. Sometimes slowing down is the thing we need most. So there may be a huge list of all these things that life is inviting you to that are about slowing down. But it could be like going out for a hike. There are so many things that will feed and nurture us that will allow everything else to be ignited. Okay, so that's your pleasure diet for the next 7 days to practice that. And then you can share in the MindBody community what you notice. And is it hard to do it because you think, well, I'm so busy, I have to do these other things. Like you're not prioritizing it because you don't realize the true value. Or is it, I don't really deserve it, so I'll make time for it later, and then you don't get to it. One of the things you do want to be aware of is this is the greatest contribution you can possibly do for your body. This is the greatest contribution you can do for everything in your life and the people around you. Your electromagnetics shift immediately and really powerfully when you choose to honor yourself. When you're in stress, doing, trying, it shifts your whole energy field. And so all of the signals you're giving the world are going to be different because of that. And so I've had people, like their kids immediately respond, and like all of a sudden the kids are no longer demanding and no longer needy, and they're like self-sufficient, taking care of themselves. And then the mom is like, I have what I need. Everything is responding to your frequency. So, and I even had this one client, and she was a full-time, working professional. And she'd notice like, oh my God, every night I'm cooking dinner, I'm cleaning, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But when she started honoring her pleasure, her husband immediately started getting up after dinner and cleaning all the plates and doing all the dishes. And she's like, he has never done this before. And I didn't ask him to do this. What's going on? But she realized like everything's responding to that space of, I honor myself fully. I am a total goddess. I am totally worthy of all of my needs being met. And then you have to be the one to choose that. Okay, the second thing I wanted to share is about how to practice this. So when we tune in, and a lot of times like we're so in the mind, then it's like, oh, I think I want this. I think I want that. Your body knows so clearly. And it's not the same as a craving that comes from depletion. Like, I'm so depleted, I just have to eat this chocolate cake. Or, oh my God, I'm so depleted, I just have to sleep for 10 hours. Totally different. True pleasure is, it always feels like a self-honoring. It's a sacred practice of, I honor myself fully. I know the light within me is my value, and I choose to turn it on no matter what that means. So finding, you've got to kind of slow down and take a few breaths. Relax your body. Feel the space around your heart. This is a great portal where we connect with a higher aspect of self, not from the mind, from the head, like actually really tuning into the body. And then just take 3 breaths. If you're faced with a choice, what will delight me the most? What will contribute the most to me? Feel into serenity and joy and ease. And then if it's just like you're going about your day and you feel, whoa, I'm feeling really tense. What do I really need right now? Sometimes what we most need is either like that touch to just stabilize the body, or to hear something like, Kim, you're doing amazing. It's okay. Let go and allow. Melanie says, I'm checking into horseback riding this summer. I've not ridden for years. This is going to be a huge vibrational high for me. Lois says, I'm going to sign up for ballroom dancing. That's awesome, because that's exactly the opposite of what most people who've been dealing with what you've been dealing with in your body would do. And it's like, that's insane. This is exactly what you need to do. Emily says, what if it's more than a priority issue, but more of a deep terror around pleasure? It feels unsafe. So, and this is the first thing that will come up, as not only as we honor our pleasure, but as we go into our body and feel our body, is fear and even sometimes shame, which is a little bit more slippery because maybe we just feel a little embarrassed or uncertain or self-doubt. But it's the same thing. We're not willing to really honor ourselves because we think it's wrong. So Emily, be willing to feel this. And like I said last week, pleasure is not about, oh, I just feel good all the time. It's about always receiving what we need. And so in that moment where there's fear and terror, can you just comfort yourself with love, with serenity, with ease? Like tell yourself, Emily, it's okay to be exactly where you are. Give your body 10 seconds to dissipate that and release that. You don't need to push forward into like joy or happiness. That's not what it's about. It's really about fluid sensuality, being willing to feel what I feel with total ease. And so feeling that terror or fear and just letting it be there, and then meeting that one inside, sweetheart, I love you. It's okay to feel exactly what you feel. Will transmute the energy. Hello, Tara. Great to see you. Maura says, I feel guilt when I indulge in pleasure. Okay, so the first thing is, it is not an indulgence to honor yourself. It is not an indulgence to be willing to have fluid sensation. It is not an indulgence to ignite your sensory system. It is a necessity. It is like you get up in the day and you drink water and you feed yourself with food. You would never see that as an indulgence, but you could. This is like I said, the number one nutrient. If you're going to source yourself and let yourself receive what you need, you have to begin with letting yourself sense and feel and receive at this level. So let go of the idea, because indulgence has a totally different connotation. Like, well, okay, I really shouldn't do this, but I'm just going to indulge myself, which comes from a totally different place. A lot of the cravings we have are because we're so depleted. So there's an imbalance. I think I want that whole chocolate cake, but if I really let myself receive, okay, Kim, I love you unconditionally. I celebrate you unconditionally. If you want to eat that whole chocolate cake, you can eat the whole chocolate cake. But I do it with total awareness and total love. You can never engage in a self-deprecating or self-sabotaging behavior, consciously or unconsciously, when you are aware and embracing love. Period, the end. It is not physically or energetically possible for you to engage in something that is like too much or an indulgence, or it's just a craving or self-sabotage, but it's like this relief if you're loving, honoring, and celebrating yourself. Now, for the first 10 seconds, you might still be doing it, but celebrate yourself more. I love you. You want to eat the whole tub of ice cream? I love you. It's unconditional. Conditional is, I'm doing it as a means to an end. I'm going to love myself, so then I stop doing this thing. I'm going to love myself, so then I lose weight. And I've shared this story before. I'm going to love myself, so where's my guy? Where's my partner? Isn't my ideal partner supposed to show up because now I love myself? Totally different frequency from unconditional love, which is I love and celebrate myself for the sheer honor of loving my amazing self. I love, honor, and celebrate myself for the honor of celebrating this being that I am. There's no other reason and no ulterior motive. So that's a good first step. And more, if there's guilt, it's just a matter of like, where have I bought into the wrongness of me? So just feel that. That's your starting place. When you open up your sensory system and you feel guilt, be at ease and go slow with nurturing yourself. So the first step to that pleasure is just that. I see you. I love you. It's okay for you to open and receive. Your body's just reflecting the programs you've bought into. I can't, I'm unworthy. It's not enough. I should be doing, I should be serving, I should be taking care of. It's only gonna bring that up because you programmed those into the system. So you just say, yep, that's everything I bought into and sold to myself. It's okay for us to release that now. It's okay, body, for you to let that go. Okay. Hi, Tara. Tara says, hi, Kim. I love your messages every week. Oh, I'm so psyched to see you. Susan says, what my biggest awareness is right now is going past everything from my past way of being and putting myself first and important and get to the retreat. Maura, do you want to go with? Maura has had actually a retreat here before, so you can definitely maybe PM her and she'll give you some information about that. We do have the retreat coming up in June. There are still spots available. I would love to have you. It will be an absolutely life-altering experience for everyone who's involved. So if that resonates with you, if that is in your pleasure, certainly come in. We have all the arrangements made here in Durango, and you can PM me about that if you have questions. And that's at drkimd.com/retreat. So you can get more information. Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about with this, because I think this is really important that we understand this is not an airy-fairy fluffy thing like, oh, that's really nice, but now I'm going to get off this live and just go about my regularly scheduled program until maybe someday I have time to do that. The way your system is structured is that it will align with whatever you choose to believe. So if you believe, well, there's not enough time, or yeah, that's not really that important, this other things, I got to get this done first, and then I'll have this joy pleasure thing, it's only going to keep creating more chaos and more stuff to do. You will never get off that channel. It's not like, well, when I get off that thing, then I'll do this other thing. You have to change it, and you can only shift it right now, in the now, in your body. It is never going to be easier for you to choose it, meaning, well, right now what I'm feeling is just so hard, so let me keep running and avoiding. But later on, I'll feel better. No, it's actually the best moment when everything is up, because that's when it can release. And I made this video about this yesterday, about like the gritty stuff that really like triggers you is your greatest gift to help you release all the disharmonic stuff that's ready to move out of your body, that yes, creates disease, yes, disrupts your gut biome, yes, totally thwarts your immune system and your balance and your all the functionality throughout every organ system in your body. This is why so many people are having these weird, obscure autoimmune illness and chronic Lyme disease, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and I don't know what's going on. We've got to actually get connected with our body to be able to have the awareness of what actually is going on, what our body is inviting us to, and how we can choose differently and choose in favor of our heart, of our joy, of fluidity and pleasure. So that really has a profound and immediate shift on your frequency, your electromagnetic field. This field can be detected. We don't have to put electrodes on the head to detect this. Up to 8 to 10 feet away from the body, we have technology that can detect this. When you're in anger or frustration, there's an immediate measurable change in your energy frequency, in your electromagnetic field. When you're in joy and I honor myself implicitly, it's okay for me to feel what I feel, you immediately shift your energy field. And that has an effect on every cell and every system of your physical body. So it is your greatest leverage point to change everything, not just in your body, but also all of your relationships are responding to this. How much you get paid, what kind of opportunities open to you, what doors open, or what seems like, oh, I just can't seem to make this work. Also, like even your wealth set point, your joy set point, like everything is a reflection of this. And it's your choice. It's my choice to say, I get to be free. If I need to take a nap right now, I'm going to honor that and get what I need and know that all of these things are going to be here. And then it's amazing, like, because, one of my greatest mentors, Regina Thomashower, who's all about pleasure. She's the pleasure queen. And she talks about, You have a woman honoring her pleasure, what she can create is infinite. So if she goes into her boss and is like, oh, I really want to meet this deadline and I'm committed to meeting this deadline. So what I'm going to do right now is go out for a walk and maybe do some dancing. I'm going to take a break and take a nap. And her boss would just be like, what? That's not what you need to do. You need to work harder and put more time. But she knows that that's going to enable her to come back and like nail it out in 25 seconds. That's the level of intelligence we access when we honor our pleasure first. Definitely is the way I've been operating in my business and why so much gets created so quickly. And it took a while to get there. I used to kind of like, I should be putting more hours in. And now it's like the time I'm putting in is sitting in my sauna, doing meditation, doing movement, yoga, doing liquid dance, going for a hike, being outside, being with my child in my heart and enjoying them, my children. Being with my husband and having a conversation, because a lot of times it was like, I don't have time. There was so much inadequacy running the system. I was like, I gotta do more. You will never create greatness running on inadequacy, grounded in inadequacy, no matter how hard you work. You will never create wealth, true abundance, running on inadequacy, no matter how hard you work, no matter what you achieve or accomplish or create. Period, the end. You can only have it now, and you can only experience it by choosing it. So choose to be a sensual being, to let yourself feel what you feel, even if it doesn't feel comfortable at first. Let there be fluidity to receiving. Feel that sensation of pain, but feel it with willingness, curiosity. Usually everything we feel is in resistance. All right, more on that next week. We will be talking about releasing, because a lot of people are asking like, how do I release pain, or how do I do EFT for pain? And we'll do a lot more on that. And it's kind of applies to everything, whether you have physical pain or something else that's a pain. We'll be going more into that next week. So for everyone who's listening, either here or the podcast or on YouTube, we'll be here live in Facebook in the MindBody community every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Mountain. And we do have the upcoming retreat. Definitely subscribe at drkimd.com if you'd like more from me. And I would love to welcome more juicy women into our amazing Goddessy retreat. It will be a very tangible, life-altering experience. As soon as you choose it, you'll begin to feel the frequency of it. You'll begin to receive that. And people have already been telling me like a lot of things are changing in their life just from choosing it. And that's coming up in like another 1 month from right now. Dima says, Dear Kim, what's the best way to deal with anxiety about my health? It's the same thing, because this fear drives us and it keeps us disconnected. But if we're actually willing to feel that fear, we can connect with our body. The fear releases. But from that connection with our body, we can have the awareness of exactly what's required for my health or exactly what to release. And sometimes it happens unconsciously, like, oh, I just began taking this blue-green algae and I didn't even know, or I just began drinking this filtered water and now I know that's what helped my body heal, not having fluoridated water. Like sometimes it's totally unconscious, but because we're following our guidance, it happens automatically. Linda says, I love the clarity you bring. It makes so much sense at a deep level. Thank you. Janet says, hard to get out of my mind and unstuck years of major depression. Depression, just like chronic pain, it's the same thing. It's repressed sensation. So if we feel grief or even sadness and it's repressed, it's all this like, whoa, I can't go there. So we stuff it. And then it's like we feel the heaviness of it and then feel the numbness of not sensing. And that's basically depression. It feels powerless. And if we're willing to just enter all of that, let it wash through, it will release. I've seen this in many women through the retreats I've done, and women that I've worked with have that experience right there at the event. And it's an awakener, boom. And it allows that energy to dissipate in a way that it frees it forever. Rachel, can you talk some more about the swamp exercise? You recommended it to me last week when I'm feeling low and stuck. And after I did it, a ton of stuff shifted. It might help with others who missed last week's live. Thank you, Rachel. So there is on YouTube, gosh, Jessica, will you post that again? Because because I don't know exactly what it's called. I think it's called the swamp exercise, but I promise we'll post it right here in the comments in a minute here. And it's basically a way of feeling everything you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, that feels yucky and heavy and stuck and gunky and junky. And I hate this and I don't want to face this and it feels impossible. And like getting it all out totally willingly and actually celebrating the heck out of it, how swampy and yucky and gunky, and I'm just going to own it and say yes to it. And you get it all out, you allow it to pour forth. And that alone creates such a lightness because you come into a higher frequency. If you're holding ucky gunky and you're like, no, everything's fine. I'm going to master this. I'm going to overcome this. There you are. Or even depression. Or you're like, I am so freaking miserably depressed. It is a nightmare. I feel incapable. I'll never make it. It's not okay. And I'm just going to own that that's exactly what I'm thinking right now and exactly how I'm feeling. And I breathe in and I breathe out and I say, it's okay to have exactly this going on. It's okay to feel exactly this. I'm already in a higher frequency just by being willing to feel what I feel, or as unstuck as it may be, to be willing to be exactly where I am right now. Not, oh, so then I can feel better. It's like it already is better just by virtue of my willingness. Super powerful. I think one of the most powerful things I've ever learned. Bridget says, I used a favorite lotion, getting one with my skin and all of me, accepting it as well. And I love it. And I'm releasing anything that's not serving me. Beautiful. Sally, how long do you meditate for? I keep it really simple. I mean, maybe it's 20 minutes. And if I'm really feeling like busy chaos, oh my God, I got to do work, I do it longer. And that kind of might seem counterintuitive, which it used to me. But I am so very aware with how much the delusion of chaos is a projection of me. And so if I'm projecting that much chaos of busyness, I have to do this, I have to do that, it means I need more stillness. So chaos is always an indication that stillness needs my attention. The chaos never, ever needs my attention. So if I'm working and doing, oh, I got to write this, I got to do this, oh, wow, I got to create this thing. It's like I become too aware that I'm like, nope. It seems like there's 50 things to do or my world's going to fall apart. Always means more stillness needs my attention because it's a projection, total projection. So I'll do in the morning, and I love this commitment that I've made to do like 15 minutes a day. And usually it's a little bit longer because I really enjoy it. I've shared this before, the beta breathing. So you put your thumb and first finger together. I think I shared this in the Ignite program, and you just breathe in through the mouth, out through the mouth 5 times. This settles down the beta brainwaves. So 5 breaths in through the mouth, out through the mouth, holding the first finger and thumb mudra. It will release the beta brainwaves, which is where you kind of play all the programs of belief and I've got to do this or it won't be okay, or all the beliefs and ideas of your operating system are in your beta brainwaves. So it'll neutralize those. So you can like release all those ways of thinking and have clarity. Okay. Elena, what do we do when we don't know what to do? For instance, professionally, this is a huge thing. And I'm writing this in the book too. A lot of women think when you ask them, what do you truly want? What's your greatest heart's desire? They'll say, I don't know. Because they think it has to come from the mind and like, it's this thing I've figured out. Oh, I'm going to do this. But it's really not. It's actually a moment to moment sensory awareness. What fills and fuels me right now? What would be juicy to me right now? And like I said, sometimes it's just to tell myself, Kim, you're doing awesome. Let go and allow. It's all taken care of. Or sometimes it's, with food, like, oh, I'd be so delighted. Let's have this. Or yes, with work, what do I want to create? But you can't know it from the mind. You can only know it from deepening this connection, deepening your sensual self, being more present to what you feel and what your guidance is sharing with you. So especially for that kind of thing, like let it come from a true awareness. So one thing that's really helpful is just to ask, what would contribute the most to me and my joy and my life and my world? What would be the juiciest thing that I could be doing with my life professionally? And then just breathe it in, feel the heart, and let your body know, I'm open and receptive. It might be a day later, it might be a few days later. Keep asking and stay on the channel of it. And it'll be amazing because things happen, like someone just asks you like, hey, why don't you do this thing with me? Or, hey, you see a billboard or an invitation for something and you're like, oh my God, that totally resonates. Life will speak to you through these experiences, but you've got to already be on the channel of the question of asking. And then the resonance of it is like, ah, and you see something and you immediately know like, I'm going to go in that direction. I'm going to choose that. And it will lead you on the path. Okay, great. Thank you, Jess. What's the name of that video too so people can search on YouTube? Linda says, delusion of chaos. Chaos never, ever needs our attention. Be still. Thank you. Christine, I feel you, Alana, and I'm in exactly this place. Linda, beta brainwave breathing. Oh my God, gold. Thank you. Yeah, that was from Sylvie Olivier. She gave us this amazing breathing sequence. So I've been practicing with that. But any kind of meditation you like, just breathe in, breathe out, and let your body know, I'm here, it's all as well. Take 15 minutes to settle into that. And for me, it's just an essential thing because it's no point doing anything if I'm not in my own alignment. All right, Arlene, she says, yes, alignment. I'm so enjoying being in this place. All right, we're going to complete sending you all my love, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. And for those of you who would like to join me live, the invitation is there for the retreat. Enjoy your pleasure diet. Definitely share in the MindBody community what you notice, and we'll go through this week together and amplifying that. Bye.